The Dallas Cowboys bounce back. They take care of business on Monday Night Football, winning on the road, taking out the Los Angeles Chargers. No revenge game for Kellen Moore. Cowboys win 20-17. Let's talk about it.
Prescott, touchdown. Throw, look at middle, sacked again by Parsons again. CD Lamb, was he down? They say no for now, and he's into the end zone.
Cowboys are now 4-2 going into the bye week, and they showed a gutsy, tough, rough game. I mean, it was a messy game. There are a lot of things to go around about this game, but point is a win in the NFL. And 4-2 is much better than being 3-3. And the Cowboys avoid back-to-back losses, something that dates back to going back to last season. The Cowboys beat the Chargers, taking down Kellen Moore. And my oh my, this was this was a rough game to watch. I'm just glad they got the win, right? Let's start there. Glad the Cowboys won. They needed to bounce back if they wanted to keep the momentum going, if they wanted to keep the success of their season going. They needed a win tonight. I'm on the verge here, guys. I want to be celebratory with you. I know you're happy that we won, but I'm your unbiased and realistic Cowboys fan. And again, I'm glad to have the win. It's always nice to have a win, but I feel sometimes wins can cover or at least prolong issues that would have been addressed if there was a loss. Look, this offense does not look good. They still got issues. I'm not blaming the players. I think the players showed out really well tonight. I thought Dak was solid for the most part. Last game, yes, you can pick on Dak. Last game against the 49ers, yes, he threw three interceptions. He did miss a throw to Tony Pollard at the end of the game to clinch the game. But let's be real. I mean, it's not on CD. It's not on Cooks. Gallup, we can pick on tonight. But Mike McCarthy, he's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot, and I've always been Coach Mike, but this is not a good game. There is a lot of things that he struggled with as an offensive play caller tonight. And this is what I mean by if you lose a game, there's a lot of rightful criticism that goes his way, and hopefully changes that are made to help the Cowboys actually take that next step. But when you win a game, the Joneses really just fall back on that, and they say, well, we won the game, and no adjustments or changes are needed. I'm going to be honest, and you may not like me for this, but I don't think there's a whole lot to take away from this game that you can build off of as a team to take that next step, to play a competitor, to beat a competitor like the 49ers or the Eagles. I'm just being real. I feel like this is a win that we sort of should have expected. I know I'll start off by saying I was wrong. I picked the Chargers to win 31-27. I thought the Chargers were going to be a lot more explosive, but I did not know there were more undisciplined teams out there than the Dallas Cowboys. So that really surprised me. They threw the ball like I expected them to, but it feels so good being on the other side where Kellen Moore calls a play action pass on 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, and oh my God, it was a euphoric feeling. It felt like the past 3-4 seasons we had experienced that frustration. So to be on the other side of it is a feeling I can't describe probably since, I don't know, I've had some happy moments in my life, but that was one of them. CD Lamb gets back in the picture. 7 receptions, 117 yards. I mean, come on. Is it really rocket science, y'all? Is it really rocket science? When you give your number one wide receiver the ball, good things happen. Could you believe it? And look at, these guys are overthinking this. They're still overthinking this. There were so many penalties, so many miscues. It just so happened to be that tonight we played a worse team. Let me be real with y'all. Let me be real. And you know, there are going to be other channels out there. You can go ahead and like and subscribe to them. That's fine. But I'm going to give you the unbiased and realistic view of this team right now. There was nothing too impressive or nothing that we saw that stood out from what we knew about this team already. We knew this defense could steal a game. We knew this defense could lead by example. And great job to the defense. They bounced back after a horrid performance against the San Francisco 49ers. They allow only 17 points against what I thought was a really solid offensive team. And they were. If you look at the stats, the Chargers, Herbert threw over 200 yards. Keenan Allen had a great game, 7 receptions for 85 yards. The ball was distributed pretty well among all of them. But I'm going to be real with y'all. There were a few standouts. Oh my God, I thought Marquise Bell was phenomenal. And I think that's probably one of the things maybe we could take away is Leighton Vander Esch is all right. But what I really think he lacks is physicality, agility, his ability to move laterally, left and right. He doesn't have that speed. Marquise Bell, a little bit of a smaller linebacker, has the speed. That's what we need in this offense. We need ball hawks. And Leighton Vander Esch, I don't think he fits that script anymore. I would not be opposed to Marquise Bell being the starting linebacker and having Leighton Vander Esch, you know, come in maybe on goal line situations or shorter downs. Marquise Bell has some great speed, and in my opinion, he won a starting job tonight. I really like what I saw from Marquise Bell tonight over what I've seen over Leighton Vander Esch in the past few weeks and in the past few seasons. No pressures, no sacks on Justin Herbert tonight. Sorry, that was a mistake. There was obviously the one big one at the end of the game with Micah Parsons. Very, very much, it's the same thing, guys. You know, Micah's effectiveness doesn't always come up on a stat sheet. Same way that DeMarcus Lawrence's effectiveness is never going to show up on a stat sheet with sacks, tackles for loss. But their mere presence really opens up things for the rest of the defense, and you saw it. I mean, they were chipping Micah, they were double teaming Micah, they were doing everything they could to stop him, but you could not stop the Lion in the last 2 minutes where it mattered the most. He got the sack and really put him in a bad position, and hats off to Stephon Gilmore getting the interception to seal the game. Great job. DaRon Bland had some pretty special moments tonight too. For the most part, struggled, but in the moments that we needed him, especially on that 4th and 1 earlier in the game, he came up big in that moment. But this offense, man, really no identity still. And look at, let me paint this out to you. The 2 times that I thought they were pretty effective was obviously the drive leading up to the field goal to end the game and go up 20-17. But before that, they were slow like molasses, man. They were like a shrimp boil with no seasoning. They were boring, bland, ineffective, almost put me to sleep because first off, these games run late. I mean, the runs on 2nd and long, 1st and long, the penalties, there's no creativity in this offense right now. And it may pass against a team like the Chargers when they're beating themselves and shooting themselves in the foot, and we could take advantage of that. But that stuff doesn't fly when it comes December time in playoff football. I'm going to be honest with you. And just no identity in the game right now. And make no mistake about it, I thought it was hilarious that when the Cowboys were most successful and when we had the most explosive play of our season offensively so far, it was Dak just going out of the playbook and making up on the run. I mean, it was Romo-esque. He rolled out and threw across his body to Tony Pollard, and TP20 doing what he does best in open space, broke out of it, went for 60-plus yards. There's no accident to that. I mean, there is no successful structure to this offense right now. I can't tell you if we're a running football team or if we're a passing football team. We're 4-2, that's great. But we got to get over this hump and over this facade that wins like this actually matter, and that this is just like junk wins. These are like, there's no other way to explain it except that. Like, don't get too hyped up on this. Don't get too hyped up on this, Cowboys Nation. Like, I'm glad we got the win, and I hate to be the pessimist this Monday night, but like, there was no step forward. There was no progression that we saw that's going to help us take that next step. Granted, it's early on in the season. This team could turn something different. But look, We had training camp. We had preseason. We had the first 4 games of the season against the Giants, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Patriots. And this offense now in week 6 does not look any better. I mean, come on. We scored 20 points tonight. We've been able to score 30 plus with the help of the defense. The defense didn't get any turnovers besides the Gilmore interception in the final 2 minutes, and they didn't score any touchdowns. Without that, we're looking at a game like this all the time. Look at this. This is almost embarrassing that we're supposed to be a running football team, right? Coach Mike said it in the offseason. So we're going to run the D-ball. We're going to run the dang ball. Look at this stat. Dak Prescott, 7 carries for 40 yards. Tony Pollard, 15 carries for 30 yards. You're telling me running the ball, and this Cowboys organization has invested draft capital into this offensive line because they believe that this is a running organization. This is a running offense. And you're telling me that our number 1 rushing attack is Dak Prescott. That is something wrong. That is not winning football. It can be winning football when you're playing a team like that tonight that's more undisciplined, that's not well coached. But in the times where it matters most, like I'm just sick and tired of overhyping these wins. You can go crazy. We won on primetime. We won Monday night. Yes. We beat Kellen Moore. Yes. But I'm a fan now. I'm over it. I'm over it at this point. I want to win the games that matter. And I said it in my pregame prediction video. They're in a very unique spot where they got their butts handed to them on Sunday night against the 49ers. And did we have it in the back of our heads that they could win tonight? Absolutely. But you can win games like this 10, 11 times. Can you show up in the big moments? So I'm happy we won, and I hate to be the bummer, and I hate to be the pessimist. But let's pump the brakes before we go out there and say we're back. Also, shout out to Brandon Cooks, got his first touchdown of the season, finally. That's maybe another silver lining is the fact that we finally were able to give him the ball. But even on that touchdown, Dak Prescott is backpedaling. There's no structure. He's just waiting for one man to go across the route. There's no structure in that. I feel like the offense didn't take a step anywhere. I feel like they just played a worse team tonight. Penalties. 11 penalties to the Chargers, 9 penalties. We have 5 of our starting offensive linemen back. We allowed 5 sacks tonight. Third down efficiency, 5 of 13. Rushing yards, 96. Yards per play, 5.6. Surprisingly, we lost the time of possession game, granted by 16 seconds. But that third quarter was rough. I'm happy. Look, I'm happy. We won. We're 4-2. But I'm thinking this team should be so much better than how they're playing. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You look at the talent that they got. You look at the offensive weapons that they have. We should not be satisfied, Cowboys Nation, with the team that we have right now. Granted, it's early in the season, and of course they can build on it, and they can be a lot better come December. But right now, glad we got the win. I'm happy. Don't let the face fool you. I'm happy we won. But this team has high expectations. Not just because of the expectations that we put on them as fans, but because you look at the roster and you look at what this team is capable of, especially what they've done in the past 2 seasons. We need to hold them accountable. Don't buy into these cheap wins. Hold them accountable. We want them to do this again. I say it time and time again. Good teams take care of the game, take care of the teams that they should. Great teams do it consistently. We've still yet to see this team do it consistently. Granted, again, it's early in the season, but Mike needs to be better. He's really close. He was really close to being on the hot seat tonight. No joke. I'm that close with Mike McCarthy. I'm that close. He's calling the shots now. He said, give me the ball. Give me the play sheet. Let me call the plays. Let me bring in my guy, Schottenheimer. And this is what he's given us? 20 points? Dak being our leading rusher in a game? Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Hold them accountable. And last time Mike McCarthy had his way in the coaching room, he hired a defensive coordinator in his first season, one of his buddies. Guess who it was? Mike Nolan. I'm just saying, don't let the facade of a win fool you from what is actually going on. This team needs to step up. They need to improve. They took the right step tonight. They won in an ugly way, and I think you can learn a lot as a team and as an organization and as a franchise when you win games like this. Because you could be like the Chargers on the other side, on the losing side, where now they have to face realities. They have to face changes. But the bar is here. I'm going to hold the bar here as a Cowboys content creator. Y'all can celebrate. We beat the Chargers. We beat Kellen Moore. I'm holding us accountable. I'm looking towards the playoffs. This is a 12-win team. The talent's stacked. Let's go. I'm holding us accountable. I'm going to do it all season long. That's what you can expect from me. Unbiased and realistic. That's all I got to say. Let me know what you think about this game down below. Are you like me? Or do you like these cheap wins? Again, glad we won. We're 4-2 going into the bye week. Let's fix this. Let's get this offense. If this is how bad we are and we're 4-2, imagine the possibilities if we can get this offense at its best. We are too talented, and we have so many great players to be performing like this offensively. We got to take that next step. We got to take that next step. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Cowboys 4-2. They beat the Chargers 20-17 going into the bye week. I will see you guys next time. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Go Cowboys.